Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And the second movie I watched yesterday is something which, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, but this is basically what I can remember. I watched for the first and only time sometime around 1984 or 85. I know I was under the age of 10. But this movie has been such a cultural icon. It's been a popular icon in terms of creature features and sea monsters. I wouldn't call them monsters, but yeah, attack from creatures from the sea. That it always kind of stands out, and thus in the 35 years since, I've never actually felt the need, because it's always been discussed. It's such a big part of popular lore that I've never actually felt the need to actually sit down and watch this movie from beginning till end properly. However, that's exactly what I did. You can guess, because being a lockdown, you're bored, you want to watch a lot of, you want to watch things to entertain you, and I kind of decided that, I'm going to watch as many movies as I can during this period of time. So, yeah, plenty of time on my hands, nowhere to go, why not watch? So, the movie I'm talking about is, of course, from the title you could see, Jaws, okay, here's my take on the entire movie. Maybe it's because of the time that I'm watching it for the first, I'm properly watching it, reviewing in 2020 instead of the movie actually came out in 1975, and I watched it when I was 84, 85. Can't really remember anything much other than the fact that it's a big shark. There are a lot of things, the acting, the hurried way of talking, I'm not really sure if the acting actually stands up. They kind of feel very different compared to movies that I know and like. Especially the people in the townhouse, maybe they're extras, maybe they're not really professional actors, something like that. I don't know, but I found it very odd the way that they're talking, other than the lead actors and characters. So I'm not going to go through the whole storyline, you all know it. I'm just going to tell you about my thoughts about watching this movie. So these are the things, I will probably definitely watch this movie once or twice again down the line sometime. But I just felt it very odd the way that people, this comment, the way that they talk towards one of our main, who basically is the main character, the police chief, Martin Brody, played by Roy Schneider. I just felt it very odd. I mean, it's like they're almost it's in the script, so I need to put it out as soon as I can. I can't let the next actor give enough time to actually respond. That's the way I felt it. I don't know. Some of the actors also, I felt like they were really odd. One of the most oddest characters ever is by this guy. What's his name? Robert Shaw, who plays the hunter, the shark hunter, the guy who says he's going to kill the menacing shark. I'm trying to find out the character's name. I can't remember. Let me have a quick look. Quint, that was his name. I'm not even sure if he's actually American. Probably he's Irish or something like that. I'm not really sure. Robert Shaw is the actor's name. Yeah, he was an English actor who passed away in 1978, unfortunately. But yeah, he played the shark hunter, and until the very end, I couldn't really give a damn about this character. I mean, he just felt so, I don't know, so cliched or something like that. I just didn't like the character at all until towards the very end, the way that he dies. I felt a little bit of sadness about the character. So maybe it grew on me a little bit, but I just didn't like the character for the most part. Everybody else I kind of liked. I liked Roy Schneider's character. What's the captain name? Martin Brody. Especially like Lorraine Gray as his wife. I thought she was hot. I know she's probably in her 70s by now, but yeah, she was hot for the time. And Richard Dreyfuss is just like the most affable guy you can actually see. Seen him in a few stuff, but he's the kind of guy who I think most people would like no matter what. And I liked him in this movie as well. I just felt the people were kind of odd. The entire setting was odd. The shark, there were a couple of times when it felt like the shark was very artificial looking. You could make out its, but for the most part, I think it did its job. And especially when they're underwater, it did feel kind of scary. A little bit of tension here and there. So it's hard for me to actually give a full review kind of thing, because it doesn't have the effect on someone who knows the entire thing. And even though I'm watching it for the first time from beginning to end now, the movie is from 1975, so it's like 45 years old. Um, it's not going to have the effect on me that it had on people at that time. And I do remember as a kid being feeling that effect, not wanting to go to the sea, to the beach after that, those kind of things. So I guess for the time it definitely was. Of course, I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan, so I definitely want to watch as many of his movies as possible and have them in my collection. But I just, there were certain things other than the main cast. I wasn't really it just felt very odd for several of the characters. That's about it. I think highly recommended for everybody. Should have this in your collection, I believe. I'm going to try and watch the other movies. A rating I would give for this movie, personally, right now, I would only give it a 7.5 out of 10. The scenes on the boat also they went on for way too long, is what I felt. There wasn't much excitement in it, but at the same time, I think 7.5 is not bad for a movie, even though its place as an icon in the terms of creature features, or whatever you want to call it. Animal attacks, shark attacks, is probably in the higher echelon of all those kind of movies. I would still give it a 7.5 out of 10. It is kind of difficult to get through initially, and especially do the boat scenes, but the rest of the movie is pretty top notch. So thank you guys. I will catch you again pretty soon.